CTV News tonight, an arrest in a startling case of youth violence.
Prince George's police make an arrest in the murder of a Duval High School student, and police say the suspect is also a teenager. I'm Katera Jones. I'll have all the details coming up on CTV News.
Big news in that Duval High School shooting case. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, the search for the suspect who shot 16-year-old Jada Medrano Moore earlier this week has come to an end. Police have made an arrest in the case, which has rocked the Lanham community. CTV's Katera Jones is standing by in Upper Marlboro with the details.
After several days of searching, Prince George's police had finally arrested a 17-year-old boy from Charles Flowers High School for the murder of Duval High School student Jada Medrano Moore. As we reported earlier, Jada was walking home from school on Monday on Palomar Drive when a dispute between two groups broke out. Police Chief Malik Aziz described the dispute as, quote, a petty beef. He also says that the victim stepped in to stop the dispute, and that's when the suspect pulled out a gun and shot her.
From what we know now, was some type of petty beef involving, individuals as young people get involved in with each other. Somebody said this. It's maybe another, opposite sex involved. All those kinds of things have come into play with these two groups who are fighting for really no reason.
Jada was a star. I mean, in every sense of the word. She was a star in her school. She was a star as a part of Team Elite. She was a star in our community. And on the day of this incident, she was a star yet again and gave her life there trying to diffuse this particular incident.
We don't know exactly where the suspect's movement were. We know that he was out. He was doing out and about. He was talking to people. He was going and living his life as if this did not occur. At every opportunity, he could have stood up and said, hey, this is me. We were looking for him. We put it out there. Other people had to tell it and say it. Our great community heard our county executive give praise to our community for stepping up. We ask them to step up. We come here. We say call Crime Solvers, call our homicide unit, call our tips line, give us any information any which way you can, and they did, and they told us about it.
The 17-year-old suspect faces murder, assault, and firearm charges. Police also say the gun used in this incident has yet to be recovered. Katera Jones, CTV News.
The suspect is being held without bond. Well, Maryland's superintendent of schools will not seek a second term. Mohammed Chowdhury withdrew his request for a contract extension that would have allowed him to stay in his role for the next decade. In a joint statement from the Board of Education, the superintendent says he plans to pursue other opportunities. Chowdhury had come under fire after former employees say he created a toxic workplace. He joined the department in July of 2021. His contract is scheduled to end in June 2024. Well, more inclusive housing will soon be coming to Prince George's. The County Council has unanimously voted to enact universal design legislation sponsored by Councilmember Jolene Ivey. CB 65 will make housing more inclusive and accessible by providing a range of benefits to elderly residents and those with disabilities or injuries. The measure is intended to help residents function more easily in their homes. CTV spoke with Ivey when she first introduced the bill back in July.
Everybody agrees that we need to do more to help people age in place and to help people who need to visit a friend or a family member who otherwise are prohibited because of all the barriers, the physical barriers between them and their friend's home.
And the measure requires elements of universal design for future housing in Prince George's after January 1st, 2026. Well, Laurel police are asking for the public's help locating a missing teenager. She's 16-year-old Devani Bird, and the teen went missing from the 14,000 block of West Side Boulevard early yesterday morning. She's about 5'9" and weighs over 200 pounds. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to contact authorities. At Metro riders, listen up. The transit agency plans to close several stations this weekend. Metro will close 4 Red Line stations this Saturday, September 16th, and Sunday, September 17th. Shady Grove, Rockville, Twin Brook, and North Bethesda stations are being shuttered for track work. Free shuttle bus service will be provided at the 4 stations. Meantime, Metro is alerting passengers about a law enforcement training exercise on Sunday. It's going to be held at the Capitol South Station, which will be closed from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, we'll take you on stage to Out of the Vineyard. It's a play now showing at Joe's Movement Emporium in Mount Rainier. Stay with us.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. Well, September is International Underground Railroad Month, and this month acknowledges the significance of the Underground Railroad and all those involved, including Maryland's own Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman. There will be different events, exhibits, and activities happening throughout the month across the state. One of those is Sunday's Emancipation Celebration at the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad State Park.
We'll have programs going on throughout the day, traditional children's games, games that the enslaved children played. So things like marbles and jacks, potato sack races, and mancala. We'll have all that going on, as well as a Harriet Tubman reenactor will be here performing at 1 o'clock that day, as well as an a cappella group performing later on in the day.
And the Emancipation Celebration takes place this Sunday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad State Park. That park is located at 4068 Golden Hill Road in Church Creek. For more information, you can log on by visiting visitmaryland.org and search for International Underground Railroad Month. Well, a touching, deeply researched narrative comes to life on stage at Joe's Movement Emporium. Out of the Vineyard is a story constructed from interviews with descendants of people closely associated with the history of freedom suits in Prince George's County. The play illuminates American history, demonstrating the lingering effects of slavery in today's society.
God, in that vortex, his voice told me, go forth.
There are names and places and events that are very much centered around the history of Prince George's County, and we learn more about the freedom suits where enslaved people were able to gain freedom through the court systems prior to emancipation. And this was occurring from the 1700s until the early 1800s.
And Out of the Vineyard is made in conjunction with the Freedom Stories Initiative. The play will run through September 24th in Mount Rainier. For tickets or more info, log on to joesmovement.org. The Burgundy and Gold football team has new owners, a relatively new name, and now maybe a new theme song. A Beltsville man has written a new song for the Commanders. It's called Washington Commanders Theme Song, and it was written by musician Chess Rice, a.k.a. Big Chess DC. He says he wants to tie the team's great past to its future. And here is some of the song Big Chess hopes the team will adopt.
It's Commander football rocking. Crank up the diesel, get the fun brunch popping. It's Commander football rocking. Washington football show timing.
Well, think the song is special because it combines the old guard or the old players with the new players. So in the song, we pay tribute to players like Dave Butts and John Riggins and the Fun Bunch, who were the receivers from the golden age of Commanders football, to include Gary Clark, Art Monk, and Ricky Sanders. And then we also highlight the new players, you know, Emmanuel Forbes, who was this year's #1 draft pick, and Darryl Green, and we draw that corollary.
And Big Chess has also released a new album called A Love Supreme. You can find them on Apple Music and Spotify. Coming up, Simon Buggs with your Friday Sports Page report. Stay with us.
What's up, sports fans? And coming up on your Friday Sports Page, a recap of the football game between Duval High School and Bladensburg High School. Stay tuned.
We're Duval High School and you're watching CTV Sports.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, fun will be had by all at this weekend's African American Festival. This year's featured artists will include Music Soul Child. The regional festival is in its 27th year, and there is something for everyone. The day-long event will include a youth entertainment pavilion, an education village, and a health and wellness pavilion sponsored by the University of Maryland Center for Health Equity.
The health pavilion will be a place to come for screenings. We'll have the health department there. We'll have eye exams, get your blood pressure checked, check your glucose, find out what you need to do to protect your family. And I think that we need to come out of the clinics and out of the hospitals and bring our services right to the curbside.
And the popular Baltimore County Festival attracts people from all over. It's set for tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the courthouse grounds, 400 Washington Avenue in Towson.
Okay, everyone, it's time for your Friday Sports Page. We'll start with some high school football. The Duval High School football team took the field yesterday against Bladensburg. On this first quarter play, quarterback Christian Smith handed off to running back Ahmed Bundu for a nice gain. But the Tigers were unable to put points on the board in the first quarter. But in the second, the offense came alive. The Tigers completed a successful drive that was capped off by Bundu making another good play, running the ball in for a Tigers touchdown. The Tigers came out on top in this low-scoring game, 7-0. The Tigers will take the field again versus Flowers High School next Saturday. Meanwhile, the Bowie Baysox will be taking the diamond tonight, playing an away game against the Harrisburg Senators at 7 o'clock. And the Washington Mystics will be in New York tonight, going up against the New York Liberty at 7:30. And that is your Friday Sports Page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
And that's CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.